Grant Cardone and Elle McPherson came on to say hi. So hopefully they'll come in and give us some love today as well. Good to see you, Ace. Good to see you, Marianne Bartels, as well on Zoom. What's up, YouTube? Good to see you here today. Today I'm going to talk about 3 of what I think are going to be the next 100 coins, 100x coins in crypto. What's up, Instagram? Good to see you as well. Great to see everybody. Leave your comments below and they're going to come through with me. I'm joined here with our in-studio audience as well on Zoom, and I'm giving them the extra love for them being here. So I appreciate everybody on Zoom. Just wave your hands if you can see me here. Good to see you on Zoom. If anybody else wants to join us on Zoom, it's londonreal.tv/Zoom to be in here, and so I can see your face. And again, if you're on Zoom, please turn cameras on. I love to see faces. I get really spoiled in our academy. So look, today I want to talk about what I'm seeing as 3 potential coins that have to go to the next 100x. And I think most people in this crypto space, they see Bitcoin and Ethereum as incredible kind of blue chip coins in this space, but they also don't expect those to go up 100x. At least none of the guests I've had here on London Real are predicting that kind of a move. So you have to look to a smaller coin if you want to see those massive returns. Does that make sense to everybody here on Zoom? And just give me love or yeses if that's on YouTube as well. Okay, fantastic. And so again, just want to say, I'm not a financial advisor and nothing in this video should be considered financial advice, but I am watching everything blockchain and we are talking to the best people in the marketplace. And actually, it was on Friday where I was live with Alex Mashinsky, who's the CEO of the Celsius Network. Did anybody here on Zoom watch that conversation with Alex? Just thumbs up if you did. It was a really fantastic conversation. Robert Parker did, so did Nicoletta, fantastic. You know, he said something really interesting to me that made me want to do this broadcast today. He said, Brian, there are currently 12,000 coins right now in the ecosystem. He said, not all of those are going to make it. And I went through the .com boom, as did Alex and I both did. And we saw all of these companies, right? There was pets.com and petsco.com and petfood.com, right? Not all of them made it. Very few actually made it, but those that did became these trillion-dollar companies. And he said, Brian, the same thing's happening now, and you have to know which things to invest in, and you have to know that the rest are probably not going to make it. Does that concept kind of make sense to everybody here on Zoom? Just thumbs up if it is. And if you're coming late on Zoom, turn cameras on. William Radner. I got George Nikabane. I hope I'm doing that right. I got Yari Persegona. Good to see you here. Raleigh, William, and of course all our regulars. So I wanted to talk about what I think some of those potential protocols that are making a big difference could be. And again, not financial advice, but I want to tell you what I see. I'm in a really fortunate situation in that I get to talk to basically anybody I want to in the crypto space, which is a little weird sometimes. You know, some of these people would probably be impossible to get a private 2-hour conversation with, but I can kind of get them here live because all of you are watching. So I get a lot of incredible information in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. And also I've got hundreds and hundreds of students in our DeFi Academy in, I think, about 57 countries worldwide that are at the forefront of investing. So I get privy to a lot of really good information. So I wanted to share that with you today, and that's why everybody's here. Again, if you're on Zoom, turn those cameras on. I like seeing faces. Good to see you, Hans. Good to see you, Zane. And leave me any questions you have right now because they're coming into my iPad and I'll answer them as well. And so again, last week I was speaking with Alex Mashinsky and he told me this thing that I already knew. And I'm also listening to all of my students. And the biggest complaint in the DeFi Academy, and by the way, raise your hand if you're here on Zoom and you're in our academy already. There's a few. We got Robert in the house. Of course, William Radner's in here. Kim, Adam is there as well. Nicoletta, of course, representing Ace as well. Throw their hands up. And some people are starting tomorrow with our brand new course, which starts Monday tomorrow at 6 p.m. So I think a bunch of you there are there as well. And our DeFi Academy is where we take people for 4 weeks and we bring them through as fast as possible a boot camp in cryptocurrency. That's it. There's nowhere to hide, just like boot camp. You can't hide under your bed. We get you up at 6 a.m. trading crypto, building those wallets, getting on those decentralized platforms, and people just, they go really far, really fast. People do yield swapping, liquidity pools, even option trades, and then they get together their trading disciplines at the end and they go forward. So it's this incredible thing that we do, and we learn so much for that as well. And so a bunch of people here on Zoom right now are my current students, my ex-students, and my future students. And if you're joining us for the course that kicks off on Monday, welcome. And if you want to join us tomorrow for the brand new course, you know the link. It's in the chat right here, londonreal.tv/DeFi, DEFI. All I need your name, email, and a quick application, one sentence of why you should be on the course. I'm going to go review the latest applications now. We're oversubscribed. It's another great course, but I'm always looking for that next person out there that is going to bring the right energy into this course. And we got amazing people, right? How cool is the Academy for everybody here on Zoom that's one of my students, right? Have you ever seen a cool community like ours? And Kim, I can't believe you're up this early on a Sunday morning, but I appreciate that. We've got the best people in the business, the best energy in the business, and we're super excited. So again, there's links on there, londonreal.tv/DeFi, and we're gonna drop in a downloadable piece on Zoom. So if anybody's watching me here on YouTube or on Instagram, come here to londonreal.tv/Zoom, and I'm gonna drop in here. I think Julian's got cooked up our 8-step trading checklist, which some of my students get, and we got another downloadable asset as well. So let's get into it. The biggest complaint that we have in my academy, and all of you can confirm me right now, it's a 3-letter word, gas, right? Now raise your hand if you're in my academy right now and you've complained to me about gas. Dawn, Kim has, Nicoletta has, I know what you're talking about. And if you're coming here on Zoom, turn those cameras on so I can see you. Gas is one of the biggest complaints that we have, and that is really the basis for what I want to talk about today. Gas, gas, gas. Now, if you're new to the crypto and DeFi space, and that's okay, because I think a quarter of my students have never even traded cryptos, you'll be thinking, what's gas, Brian? I know in Britain right now, we can't buy gas. Anybody here in the UK? We're having a hard time filling up our tanks with gas, but that's not the gas I'm talking about. When you trade on Ethereum, which is basically the DeFi blockchain, it's the blockchain where all of the smart contracts are on. It's been around since 2014, and it's the programmable crypto blockchain. If you're on there, you can do amazing things, right? You can do yield swaps, you can do liquidity pools, you can do all sorts of great, smart things, but it costs you all of these transaction fees that they call gas. It's kind of a cool word as opposed to transaction fees, but it gets really, really expensive, right? Does everyone know what I'm talking about here inside my academy? I mean, sometimes the gas is as much as the trade when you're trading small, which is the way I get all of my students to start. We start with $20 trades, $40 trades, in order to understand the instruments and see how they behave. And then later, once the course is over, then we get into trading and putting positions on, and that's how we track all those things independently. So gas is a big issue. And right now with Ethereum, everyone's promising Ethereum 2.0, right? Thumbs up if you've heard of Ethereum 2.0. Thumbs down if you're just like, Brian, I don't even know why I'm here right now. This is a Sunday and this link came up. Okay, so some of you know, some of you don't. And again, if you're watching us on social, go to londonreal.tv/DeFi. Sorry, londonreal.tv/Zoom to join my Zoom call, and so I can see your face. And again, you can leave questions here on Instagram or YouTube as well. So what's gas? Okay, and what's the issue with gas? It's the transaction fees for everything you do on Ethereum, and right now it's really high. Now Ethereum has promised us Ethereum 2.0, which is hopefully going to change all of that, which means it will no longer be proof of work, which is what Bitcoin uses, but proof of stake. And again, not to get into all the complication stuff, and I could get deep into hash rates and miners and all this crazy stuff, but proof of work is a computer-intensive process that verifies transactions and making sure that they're legitimate and not like people trying to be fraudulent on the blockchain. Is everybody with me so far? It's called proof of work, and it takes a lot of computing power, and it costs a lot of money. And right now, the transaction fees on Ethereum make it not worth actually using when it comes to small transactions. And everybody's frustrated because we see Ethereum as the future. We see all these incredible programmable applications. We see ourselves getting rid of the banking industry. And by the way, I know I don't dress like it now, but I worked in banking for 15 years and I saw everything that happened behind the scenes. I made a lot of money, and I hung out with a lot of people that made too much money because they rip, I'd say 8 to 10% of GDP out of every single person in the world every single year through banking transactions. Is everyone kind of with me here on Zoom? Just thumbs up if you kind of know what I'm talking about. And again, great to see a few people arriving a little bit late on Zoom. Just turn cameras on. I got Gora in here. I don't know if I gave you a shout out. Simon, boom, I see you, Simon. Now don't turn your camera on and go dark on me as well. Come on, turn those cameras on. We got a lot of people here on Zoom, and I appreciate everybody coming here. And again, I'm gonna make this one short today. So another 20, 25 minutes and I'll be done. Where was I? Oh, back to the Ethereum 2.0. So right now we're at proof of work. So everyone is knowing that Ethereum is potentially the future, but right now it's requiring too much computing power and it's costing us too much. Now Ethereum is talking about moving to proof of stake in the future, which just means this: if you're a proven member of the community and you own a chunk of the blocks and you don't do bad things, then all you have to do is give thumbs up or thumbs down for these transactions in the future, and you'll do it in your interest. The proof of work was a great idea. Satoshi Nakamoto came up back in the day when he created this whole idea of what would become a cryptocurrency. He never probably knew, or she or them never knew it was going to be a thing. But proof of work was one of the most genius things because it's made it very hard to corrupt this network. And Bitcoin so far in 13 years has never gone down. It's never been hacked. It's never been corrupted, right? Everybody give Bitcoin a big round of applause here. Come on, right? And again, it's digital gold. It's amazing. I had Michael Saylor here of MicroStrategy. He owns $5 billion worth of Bitcoin. I had Scaramucci here, owns $1 billion worth of crypto. By the way, all I do is talk to is billionaires these days. When I meet people now who aren't billionaires, I'm just like, really? That's weird. And so again, it's a very strange space, but this is the space, okay? And so they're owning big chunks of these assets and they're working very well. So again, it works for Bitcoin, but for Ethereum right now, it's slowing the whole system down, which means all of our visions of the future of getting the unbanked people in the world. By the way, that's 2 to 4 billion people in this world that don't have proper access to financial services, right? Does anyone think that that's like a major travesty? It's one of the last human rights that's being violated on a daily basis, right? Is everybody with me here on Zoom? Just want to see, I got a few more faces. What's up, Laura? Good to see you. What's up, Carrie Egan? What's up, Muji? We got a few other people. What's up, Errol? Nice to see you. Turn those cameras on. I got QR codes from Aaron Craig. So again, I think this is one of the last human rights that's being violated on a regular basis. Last year, my freedom of speech was violated here at London Real, and we fought back and we said that wasn't okay. And we went out of our way to make sure tens of millions of people could get access to listening to other people, right? Everyone remember that human right? Still very important. Then when I ran to be mayor of London, we fought for free and fair elections. They tried to shut us down. The police surrounded me and said, Brian, it's illegal for you to campaign. I was like, really? That sounds familiar, and that doesn't sound right. So we fought through that. And now I see this last human right as something that's being violated on a regular basis. Ethereum can change all of that. The crypto networks can change all of that. This is actually making us the humans we always wanted to be in the future. Does everybody here kind of understand that vibe and that ethos? I think that's why we're here. And that's why I created the DeFi Academy. That's why we got this 4-week boot camp where we push people through these protocols. That's why I have my daughter Gabby here at 17 years old in the studio. Do you know how hard it is to get your daughter to clean a room? Try getting her into London Real Studios, right? You know what I'm talking about? Gabby, if you're watching this, I love you. So she came in and she's now on Ethereum, right? She has a digital wallet. She's got ETH and some other stable coins. My mom, 76 years old, Betty Rose in San Diego, California, she now has Ethereum and stable coins because I pulled them into this ecosystem. We bring you into the DeFi Academy. I want you to do the same. That's your job, to try to pull 10 more people in this ecosystem. Is everybody with me here? Right? That's what we're doing here. I got Tom Cribb in the house. Good to see you. I got Igor. I got Alex. I got more people coming. Just turn the cameras on. We got a big Zoom party here on Sunday. All right. Obviously, it's nice to know people are thinking about crypto on Sunday. It's not just me. All right. So this is great to see everybody here. Again, if you want to learn more about the Academy, there's a link in the chat in Zoom. It's londonreal.tv/DeFi, DEFI. Our new course starts tomorrow. I just need your name, email, and a 1-sentence application, 60 seconds. I'll review it tonight. My first live call's tomorrow at 6 p.m. So we're pulling people into this ecosystem. Ethereum and a bunch of the other blockchains look like they're empowering us and giving us real financial freedom with our banking system, allowing us to give all these people in Africa and Asia and even in America who don't have access to banking because something isn't okay with their driver's license or their passport or their history. I don't think that's fair. They should still be able to borrow and lend, collateralize. They should have access to financial markets. Does everyone here agree with me? I think we do. Most of the cryptocurrency space thinks that people should have the right? Why do I have to show you a utility bill and my passport to have access to my own money? Don't get me started. I'll start getting angry right now, right? It's my money. I earned it. Why should you, an institution or a government, tell me what to do with it, right? Is everybody with me here? Don't get me started. I'll talk an hour about this, all right? So again, crypto and DeFi is the future of empowering us again back to where we want to be. And again, with the blockchain, everything's transparent. Again, I just ran to be mayor of London. Imagine if all of our governmental processes were transparent. Can you imagine that, people here? Can you imagine? Imagine if voting was all on the blockchain and transparent. Can you imagine? This is the future if we do our jobs here. So that's what we're doing in our DeFi Academy, pushing people through. And today I want to talk about what I think are the next 100x coins because they're solving the gas problems with Ethereum. Is everybody kind of with me so far? That's the issue here. And let me just check. I'm sure I got crazy comments coming through them here. I just want to say, just a couple shout outs for here. Tom Cribb says, great casual look. Thank you, Tom. I got Dr. William Dobashinsky here who says, hi from Palm Springs, California. Great to see you here. You like the casual look. Maybe I'll wear this tomorrow. Great to see you from Palm Springs. I got Zane here on Zoom. Well, what's the best coin to buy on the Binance app? I'll come back to you. I got Project Green here on Instagram, says ciao from Italy. Good to be live with you. Good to see you. And I got Vanglorious One on YouTube that says, love you, man. I appreciate, man. I got Esther Watt, one of our grads here on YouTube, actually. Hi, Esther, who says big love to the DeFi students. All right, Esther's giving you love down here in Zoom. Did anybody here graduate with Esther on the Zoom call? Esther White's amazing. She's in our, Dawn was there with her. She's in our Wizards group right now, our transparent trading peer group, and Esther's crushing it in there. So great to see you here. I got Abdullah on Zoom that's asking about Polygon. Abdullah, you're taking some of the wind out of my fire here. I'm going to get to Polygon, and I got a few other people on Instagram. I got 8 Toke here who's asking about the DeFi Academy. Again, londonreal.tv/DeFi. And I got Mojtaba on YouTube that says, legendary, Brian, I'm so proud of your mission. Thank you so much. All right, so very good. One more thing. Project Green here on YouTube says, if you buy NFTs, low gas in the 30s and high gas can be in the 90s on up. I've seen $1,500 gas fees. Crazy. I totally feel you, Project Green. Anybody here on Zoom feel those gas fees coming here as well as NFTs as well? And I was messing around with some NFTs earlier. I got a new module for my Kings of DeFi where Clint is, and I've been doing a little NFT minting in the background. I found some NFTs of me actually out there that I didn't know existed. So it's all a crazy world, right? So we're going to get into that. So let's talk today about 3 networks that I think are going to become potentially the next 100x because they solve the issue of gas. All right, that's what I want to talk about today. Everybody with me so far? Just thumbs up on Zoom. We got a crazy Zoom audience today. Great to see everybody. Abdullah, we got Alex, we got Nicoletta. Nicoletta, you're dressed better than me today. All right, some people ask, Krister's in the house, Chinmay. Just turn cameras on if you are on Zoom. It'd be great to see your voices. Appreciate everybody here on Instagram and on YouTube as well. We got a bunch of people coming. I got people throwing out coins on YouTube as well, so we'll get to you. All right, let's talk about this gas. I want to talk about 3 networks. I'll go one at a time. The first one that's going to have a massive impact in the gas fees on Ethereum, it's happening now, but it's going to happen more, and somebody already guessed it, is Polygon. Just give me thumbs up in Zoom if you are aware of Polygon or you've used Polygon. Just thumbs up, thumbs down if you're like, Poly who? I don't know what you're talking about, Brian. That's okay. In our DeFi Academy, we got everybody. Nicolette, I appreciate your honesty. And we like honesty in our DeFi Academy. I've had people in our academy who'd never traded a crypto before. I got people who bought Bitcoin in 2013 like me. So we got everybody. So let's talk about Polygon. I had the CEO of Polygon on this show, Sandeep Nawal, who lives in Dubai, but he's from India, one of the few Indian startups that we've seen crush the blockchain, and that's going to change soon. Thanks to Sandeep and a bunch of the great work that he's doing. Polygon is a layer 2 solution. And again, if you're on Zoom, thumbs up if you know layer 2 and thumbs down if you don't, just so I can help. Clint, of course, knows layer 2. Tom Cribb knows layer 2. Jorge Kurg does not. That's cool. Welcome in the club. Goran knows layer 2. Nicoletta doesn't know layer 2. That's fine. Okay. Let's talk about layer 2 because the next 2 coins I'm going to talk about are layer 1 solutions, and I'll tell you about the difference. Layer 2 solution is this. It's something that sits above the Ethereum network, and it uses Ethereum for all the things we love about it. Great security, great developers, great programmers, but it only uses Ethereum for the transactions that it needs to actually code on there and put in the blockchain. And everything else that can be run outside of that, it runs on a really super fast layer called Polygon, where it runs 1,000 times as fast and 1,000 times cheaper. But all those transactions end up written back to Ethereum on the baseline. Is everybody with me here so far? When I first came across Polygon, I spoke to my friend Tika Tawari, and he said, Brian, it's like this. Think of Ethereum as cash and Polygon as PayPal. Think about that. Ethereum's cash and Polygon is PayPal. So Polygon doesn't replace Ethereum, just like PayPal didn't replace cash, right? But it made it easier to use your cash. Everybody got me on the thumbs up here? Let me explain that. Now you can shoot your PayPal address to anybody. Bam, you transact in cash. Bam, you transact in cash. Back in the day, you'd have to send a money order. What? You'd have to do a bank transfer. What? We don't want to do with that. Now you could have used PayPal, and it makes using cash quicker, but we haven't replaced cash. Everybody with me here? On YouTube as well, on Instagram, just give me some love or some yeses. Okay, good. So Polygon sits on top of it. It doesn't want to replace it, but it understands that Ethereum, since it's been around for so long, and it's a victim of its own success. That's the problem with Ethereum. It got too good, too fast, and everybody wants it, and it's just going to be too slow. And Ethereum 2.0, I heard it was coming this year, which it's not going to happen. I heard it's coming next year. And when I had Stani Kulichov here of Aave in the studio, who runs, by the way, $19 billion in borrowing, and actually $23 billion, I checked his site on Friday, in borrowing and lending protocols. All my students use Aave. Shout out to Stani, fellow Londoner, if he's here. I said, Stani, when is ETH 2.0 coming? And he said, I don't know, sometime in the next decade. I think he was joking, but he is a big fan of the Ethereum network, but he's also realistic in that it's a huge chunk of software, and trying to change it is very difficult. It's like fixing a plane in flight. Is everyone here with me on that analogy on the Ethereum, right? Okay, so the 2.0 isn't coming anytime soon, so we need things like Polygon. Right now, Polygon seems to be the best layer 2 solution. Sandeep's a very smart guy. I was really impressed with him, and they're building these super fast connections. And for all of my ex-students here, when you're inside my DeFi Academy, please do not use Polygon, because we're doing so much in those 4 weeks that I'm blasting your brain. It's like that emoji, you know, with the brain explosion. That's every day when you're in my academy for 28 days, because I'm getting you to set up everything. First of all, you got to learn the history of crypto in the first week. Then you're doing hot and cold wallets. Then you're on your centralized exchanges. Then you do a swap on a decentralized exchange. We use Uniswap or something else. Then we go into yield swapping, liquidity pools, options trading. Then we get into trading protocols. I call my 10 coin rule, my 30-day watch list, etc. So that's what we do inside my academy. It's very structured. Afterwards, you can use the Polygon network because it's much faster and you can trade it much faster. And that's what we want you to do. Just on Zoom here, thumbs up if any of you are using the Polygon network. Thumbs up if you're down, and thumbs down if you haven't so far. Okay, that's cool. Look, Polygon is the way forward if you're going to stay with Ethereum. That's what I would say, okay? And again, I'm going to keep answering questions, so leave any here. Again, on Zoom, leave me any questions you have here. Same with YouTube and Instagram. We got a lot of people on this call today. I think I got over 1,000 people watching us live, which is fantastic on all our networks. Again, if you want to learn more about this, it's londonreal.tv/DeFi, DEFI. You can also go to that page and I think also get the downloadable asset, or come to londonreal.tv/Zoom and get the downloadable asset. Actually, my team just told me it's just in the Zoom call. So come to the Zoom, and Julian's going to drop it in the chat here. Just a couple of the comments, and I want to talk about our other 2 coins, all right? I got Hein here on Zoom that says, I like the formal look for your London Real interviews. Thank you, Hein. At least somebody likes my suits, okay? All right, I got Haleen here on Zoom that likes the casual look, but thank you, Haleen. I appreciate it. I got Robert McKenzie who's saying, Brian, is Compound still viable? And I'll talk about Compound afterwards. There's been a lot of news on Compound, and the CEO of Compound was here 2 weeks ago on the show. So again, we're getting to know everybody in this ecosystem. I can give you a good answer. All right, Robert, is that good for you, sir? Okay, cool. And if you're here on Zoom, just give me cameras on. I just want to say hi to a few other people. I see Doctor there. I see Victor as well. And just, yeah, good. I mean, smiling face. I always look to Nicoletta. She's always giving me a big smile. You're inspiring me to keep talking here. All right. I got Luis Vega, 10X on Instagram. It says, I need to make a big change and go digital global currency. Yes, you do. I got Shadi Pimpkin on YouTube that says gas fees are robbery. Yeah, that's the way it feels, and it's really slowing the network down. So we need other solutions. Polygon is one. I got Abdullah here on Zoom that says, yes, I'm all in on Polygon. You watched the Sandeep interview. Awesome, man. And you saw Tika as well talking about Polygon. Fantastic. And Tom Cribb is asking me my view on decentralized coins and networks versus one that still operate with a central authority. And in this say, you're saying Cardano and some others. Tom, a great question. I'm going to answer those right at the end. All right, sound good? Great to have you here, Tom. Good to see you. And so again, just welcome to anybody who's coming late here on YouTube or Instagram. If you want to join our Zoom call, it's londonreal.tv/Zoom, but only for like the next 10 or 15 minutes. I'm talking about 3 coins today that I think have serious upside potential. I've covered Polygon because it's going to make Ethereum work better. And again, Ethereum is what we've called the Microsoft Office of the blockchains with a lot of my guests recently, right? Everyone says it's not the best software in the world, but everyone's using it and it's not going anywhere soon. Does everyone give me thumbs up for that analogy here? By the way, just give me a hand up if anybody uses Microsoft Office in this Zoom call. Let me just see. Anybody here use it in their businesses? Okay, Dawn does, Tom does, Muji does. Okay, is it kind of like, it's kind of like the second best, it's like, how is it? Is it kind of like medium software? It's like medium, right, Clint? It's like okay. And Nicoletta's like, it's not the best. That's the thing. Microsoft has never been the best software, right? Even when Apple was competing against them, it was never the best, but it always had the most entrenchment. It has a network effect, right? Just like we see in crypto. So Ethereum's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's the truth. Everybody tells me that. And I'll talk about what they say about Cardano at the very end of it, but it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So Polygon is going to help us use that network more effectively. And right now, although I'll talk about these next two coins, Ethereum is synonymous with DeFi. Right now, it has 95% of the market share for DeFi. Everybody here with Zoom agree with me and understand what I'm saying, but that is changing fast. And that's why I want to talk about these next two coins. The first one I want to talk about is Solana. All right, thumbs up if you've heard of Solana here on Zoom, thumb down if you haven't. I just want to get a good things. I got digital thumb up from Angry Me. It looks like about 60, 70% here on Zoom, but of course people on Zoom, they know what's going on because they've been following us on London Real. And again, this is something that we talk about inside our academy. Let's talk about Solana. Solana is something that I've been hearing a lot about for the last 4 to 5 months. I've got some ex-banking friends in New York City who trade in some funds, and they've been chatting up Solana to me for a long time. Solana is short for Solana Beach, which is actually where I'm from. It's a mile away from where I grew up, right in San Diego, California. That they haven't airdropped me anything yet, so if anybody has heard to the Solana people, let them know I'm still waiting for my coins, all right? And again, I don't own any at this point. Well, I've actually bought a few, but I'm not a part of their network. But Solana offers a very, very fast solution. They've created some great coding software that is still not tested. And again, a lot of this stuff hasn't been bulletproof, but it's something that's already transacting much faster and much quicker than the current Ethereum networks. And the thing about Solana is there's real users and real use case scenarios. They sold an NFT for over $1 million a few weeks ago, and they're really starting to get buy-in on these networks. And that's the thing about with a blockchain that's very different than the internet and the dot-com startup, where I was involved with that as well, is that we can actually see, because of the blockchain, transparency, and we can actually see the number of users. And people are adopting Solana at a very fast rate. It's currently the 6th largest crypto blockchain in the world. Is everybody with me here? Thumbs up. It's got a market cap of $50 billion. And this is something I talk about more inside our academy. But market cap is basically the price of a share, if you're Apple computers, times the total number of shares. That's the total value of the company. For companies like Google and Apple, it's between $1 and $2 trillion. Is everybody with me? Just thumbs up on what market cap is. Bitcoin is right around 900 billion right now, just under $1 trillion. And Ethereum's around 450 billion as far as market caps. Is everybody with me here? Now, why does market cap matter? Well, it gives you an idea of how big it is, of how much depth there is, of how much liquidity there is. So it's super helpful in that sense. Right now, Solana's at 50 billion. That's a tenth of Ethereum. That's a big move. Now look, prices go up and prices go down. So I always like checking that with the number of users, with the use case scenarios, which are NFTs and a bunch of other fast transactions. And I also always check that with private investment. They just got another $230 million in venture cap. And again, this is the way that we can sanity check many of these crypto assets so we don't get caught up buying some random coin that doesn't exist and is not going to do anything, right? Is everyone with me here? Thumbs up on that. All right, and anybody who's been in the crypto space back in 2017 and 18 and the ICO boom realized that 80 to 90% of those tokens that ICO'd either were scams or became anything. Maybe they had good intentions, maybe they didn't. The problem was there was no due diligence back then. It was very difficult to check people's track record. It was very difficult to actually see what was happening because there wasn't much happening back then. It was all promises to be. Nowadays, we're seeing real value locked up on these protocols. Again, Ave's got $23 billion in borrowing and lending locked up on the protocol we can see on the blockchain. It makes us feel more confident when we go to invest in these things. Does that make sense for everybody here on Zoom? Okay, good. And if you're coming on Zoom here, turn those cameras on. I want to see as many faces as possible. We got a lot of people here, and I really appreciate everybody being here. And again, leave me your questions in the chat. I'm going to be trying to cover all of them right here at the end. Really good stuff. We just did a poll here, by the way, on the inside, and we asked the question, will Bitcoin hit 100,000 before year ends? We just had over 100 people reply to that. Let me just see what all of you think here on Zoom. Thumbs up if you think it will. Thumbs down if you don't. Let me just get the Zoom poll. And same here on YouTube. Just thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, so Sabin Bruna is thinking no. Linda Rock is saying no. Kim down and down under is not sure. Nicoletta's no. Anybody up? Laura Acuna, you think yes? Victor says yes. Victor, is that yes or no? Thomas, no. Man, got the Bitcoin haters. I'm glad my friend Max Kaiser is in here. He'd smoke all you guys. Louis Faria says yes. Who else? Simon says yes. Okay, cool. So the poll results are, drum roll, 50% say yes, 49% no, and 1% I don't know what they're doing right now. That's the poll we've just done in real time here, okay? 50-50. That's interesting. All right, and we've got what? 3 months to go. Now, what are my experts saying in the studio? I've got 5 to 6 year predictions coming at between 400,000, 500,000, and 700,000 for Bitcoin. That becomes between Dan Moorhead, Pantera Capital running $3 billion, Tika Tawari, and I think Scott Melker all had predictions around those levels based on the network effect alone. Is everybody with me here? Just thumbs up on that. By the way, that's roughly what, 10 to 15x where we are right now. Again, I haven't met a single person on my show who predicts a Bitcoin or Ethereum price to increase by 100x in the next 10 years. Nobody does, because they just don't see that kind of scale. They see 10x, which again are massive returns. Let's just be clear. You're not going to get anybody in the equity space picking a stock with that much liquidity. So again, we're in a great space, but no one's expecting those big moves. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So let me just finish up with Solana. It's made a massive price move. It became on the scene really fast, which shows you how fast crypto and DeFi can move. Solana looks like it has many of the tools for the future, but here's the downside of Solana, and listen carefully. It hasn't been stress tested. And the one thing about Ethereum, and we talk about Cardano, and I will mention Cardano here, is that right now, Cardano, and we've got Charles Hoskinson on the show soon, he's done incredible stuff, incredible vision, one of the co-founders of Ethereum, and Cardano has got everything in place to become something amazing. It's the third largest market cap, Cardano, by the way. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. So Cardano's ahead of Solana. But it hasn't actually done anything. It just went, its smart contract went live a few weeks ago. So these networks haven't been stress tested. Ethereum has been through the hard punches. It's been there and it's got thousands and thousands of developers around the world. Will Solana, will their new fast tech be able to make it through all the stress tests? Will they be able to pull in the developers going forward? This is the unknown factor, and this is what we just don't know about these networks. So again, Solana looks fast. It's a new layer one solution that can compete head to head with Ethereum. It does amazing things with NFTs. It's got buy-in, it's got market cap, it's got use case, but we still don't know if it can make it through the bumpy rides that is the crypto space. We don't know if they're going to make a mistake, a hack, or whatever. And someone mentioned Compound, and I'll mention at the end. Compound accidentally dropped $80 million worth of tokens into people's accounts in the last few days. And guess what? They can't get it back. Is everybody with me on that? We've got a phrase inside our academy that we use all the time. Not your key, not your coin. All right. You can't go to the bank and cry and complain. There's no customer service line, right? If you don't have the coin in your wallet, it's not yours. If you don't have the address, it's not yours. Compound gave those tokens out, and now they're literally asking for them back. The CEO is going on Twitter saying, please give them back. It's the right thing to do. Now, I'm a fan of Compound. I'm a fan of Robert. I'm a fan of what they built. Last year, if it wasn't for them, I don't think we'd even be here where we are today. I don't know about some of the latest comments and moves as far as trying to threaten people to get their coins back. But I will just say, it goes to show you that something like Compound, that's one of the major borrowing and lending protocols, just had a mistake in their code. Is everybody with me here, right? That just happened. That just happened. $80 million. And they're asking people to return it. Some people will. Now, it's on the blockchain. We know what addresses it went to, but we don't know their names. Now, the CEO at one point threatened to give their names to the IRS. That's another questionable thing. And again, I don't know if he exactly said that, all right? I don't trust all of the media out there. And I'll comment on that on the end because I don't think that's the move we want in DeFi going forward. Is it? Probably not, right? Okay. But it just goes to show you that, you know, someone like Compound, who's had their protocol in live for 5 years probably, can still make coding mistakes. And again, that's what the uncertain future is. They call them smart contracts, but they're also dumb contracts. Is everybody with me here? Right? Because they execute a piece of code, but there's no sanity check. There's no judge in a court that can say, well, clearly that was a mistake. You know, there's nobody that can say, clearly you got to give those back, right? That wasn't the intention of the idea. Now it's gone. So this is a real issue. Solana is definitely something to watch, but let's see what happens. We know where it is. It's a tenth of Ethereum, basically about 100th of the Bitcoin. It's about a tenth of the Ethereum market cap, about 1/20th of the Bitcoin market cap. But it's something to watch. And you know, those guys from San Diego, you never know what they're going to do, I would say. So it's always the way in the future. I will be talking more about these coins in our DeFi Academy. If you're coming late to this, by the way, we teach all of this stuff in a 28-day boot camp we call the DeFi Accelerator. You can come in with no experience and you're going to leave having traded an option, a yield swap, a liquidity pool, hot and cold wallet, been on centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, as well as having fundamental trading protocols. Also, once you graduate from our academy, you get access to our DeFi Market Wizards, which is my transparent trading group, where my students in August racked up triple-digit returns for 1 month. We had one person with a 400% return, 442 to be exact. Arnold in America had a 100% return. Stan from Norway had an 83% return, and it went on and on and on. By the way, my students published their exact positions and their exact coins with their real names, right? Is everybody with me here? Thumbs up on that, right? This isn't some forum with someone with a funny name like Bitcoin 4653, right? This isn't a Twitter with an NFT profile. These are real people with real positions that we can see their real P&Ls. They've also got really good information out there. So again, I appreciate all of our wizards that are here on the call tonight, and I appreciate all of our Academy students. Again, we kick off our next Academy tomorrow night, 6 p.m. live. I'm on here live, but I wear my suit for my calls. And I try to shake up my ties and shirt combinations. So, you know, that alone is a reason to show up for the calls. But if you want to be a part of that, londonreal.tv/DeFi, name, email address, phone number, and type in 1 sentence application. I'll read it right after this. All right, couple questions, and I want to talk about our third coin that I think has a huge potential. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice, but I'm privy to a lot of incredible information. I think there's no one in this space that has the information we have here at London Real and the DeFi Academy. Because I've got, 500 students all around the world with all sorts of things going on. Some are fund managers, some actually have dApps, some are privy to all sorts of information. We've also are talking with the top CEOs, developers, influencers in the world, and it's an incredible place to be. Also, I've been talking about crypto since 2013 on this show, so we've got an amazing way to look at all of this, and I think we combine it in a unique way, and we give our information right to our students. The last thing we do different is I believe in learning by taking action, period. The last thing anybody here needs to do is watch another video about cryptocurrency, right? Does everyone know what I'm talking about here? Everybody here has watched videos on YouTube, haven't you? You listened to the podcasts, you read the articles. What you need to do is you need to pull the trigger. That's what you need to do. Most people are too scared to buy the first NFT, which is what my Kings of DeFi are going to be doing, by the way. Most people are scared to buy the first Ethereum stablecoin, do the first yield swap, but get the cold wallet, buy their first option. That terrifies most people. All of my students do it, and we hold them accountable to get it done. So a couple comments and questions, then I want to jump back and tell you the final third coin. I got Dro here on YouTube that says, who works harder than Brian Rose? Oh, come on, man, come on, right? Hopefully my missus isn't watching me. Baby, if you're watching this, I'm going to be home soon, all right? And again, I already took the kids out this morning. We had a great time, all right? I got Snazzy on YouTube that says, this is like learning a new language. It is snazzy, but it's so exciting. The community is so amazing and positive. You can trade in this stuff in real practical terms. And again, I worked in banking for 15 years. I've never seen anything like this before. The stuff we were doing in banking is now being done by 10 guys and a dog, by 12 girls and a cat in Tel Aviv. They're creating these codes and they stick it online and it works. Have you ever heard of something so cool? And guess who's going to win because of that? All of us as consumers. And guess who's going to lose? I'm sorry, banks. I think you're going to lose a little bit. You've been taking too much of our money and information for too long. So we're taking back our control. We're also going to help bank the 2 billion unbanked people in the world. Imagine if all these people had access to financial services. Everybody wins. So let me say a few more comments. I got Don here on Zoom. Great to see you, Don. About Solana, it's on your watch list. Very good. And Don's talking about one of the protocols in our DeFi Academy. We have something called a 30-day watch list. And I shouldn't share what it's all about, but it's our way of not making knee-jerk reactions as soon as we hear a coin and buying the coin and then not knowing what we do. So what we do is we watch it for a while. We watch it and we do some due diligence and we check with our fellow students. We find out who the CEO is. We use the protocol ourselves. We find out who funded it. Do they have at least 100 million in venture capital funding? If they don't, what's wrong with this picture? And then when we get comfortable with it, we buy it. But we don't buy it on the back of a tweet or an article, because that's where I think is where the stupid money is. All right, is everybody with me on that philosophy here? That's what we do inside DeFi Academy. Again, just want to say, the DeFi Academy, by the way, is not for crypto day traders. It's not for people looking to get rich quick in crypto. All right, it's not for people that like meme coins. I'm sorry, but the Dogecoin people, please go to Saturday Night Live and Elon Musk. It's not for crypto fanboys and academics. This is for people that want to take a 10-year perspective and invest in this exciting ecosystem and help build the infrastructure of the future. That's what we're doing here. All right, I think everybody on Zoom knows that, right? Right, you all do. So again, this is a long-term trade. I see this as tech that we can all be a part of. And I was in New York City in 1999. I was the CFO of a company called LuxuryFinder.com. I was 27 years old. I had no idea what I was doing, truth, okay? And we were building luxury goods to be sold on the internet. We tried for about 18 months. We were not successful. But I saw a big tech boom, and I never got to be a part of that boom. I just never was. Anybody else here? Raise your hand if you've missed out on the tech boom, right? Anybody missed out on not putting a chunk of your portfolio in Google and Facebook and Netflix? I didn't. I'll be honest, I didn't. This is your chance to be part of something that is the biggest adoption of technology in human history. You thought the internet was big? You thought mobile phone adoption was big? This is happening at double the annual compounded rate, which means we'll have 1 billion users of crypto by 2025. Is everybody with me here, right? That alone will make the prices of these assets go up, not to mention what they do on it. Just having it and using it will make the price of Bitcoin go up to 400, 500, 700,000, according to Dan Moorhead. So we're all in an exciting space. If you're watching me right now, you're already set, unless you don't take action. If you don't take any action, then you've missed it. That's why I get all of my students to invest and to learn. And like Anthony Scaramucci said, the first Bitcoin is the hardest one to buy. The first Bitcoin is the hardest one to buy. Anybody here know what I'm talking about? Just thumbs up on Zoom if you do. Meaning, it's really hard to buy the first one because it's complicated. I don't know if I should, I don't know. Isn't this what the drug dealers use? And once you buy one, you're like, oh my gosh, I see what's going on here. This is the future. And then you're comfortable buying more or buying ETH or being all these other things or buying Solana, right? And that's what we want to do. We want everyone to start, which means get $20 worth of Ethereum. My daughter has 20 bucks worth of Ethereum. My mom has 20 bucks worth of Ethereum. We want to get them in this ecosystem. All right, I want to talk about our third coin, but a couple of shout outs. I got Gills on Instagram that says Cardano is learning from Ethereum's mistakes. I do agree with that. And again, I'm a big fan of what Charles is doing. I got Pedro on YouTube says, can anyone still trust Hoskinson? Every time I see him, he reminds me of Elizabeth Holmes. Oh, she's the one that did all the biology stuff. I actually think Charles is a great idea and a great perspective, and he's going to open up a network that he's not going to be a part of. The problem is, I think with Cardano is that they've been promising these things for years, but Charles is making sure it's done right. That's the way he does things. He admitted he is a research it, white paper it to death before you launch. Vitalik of Ethereum has admitted he is a let's throw it in the world and see if it works kind of guy. I'm actually more of a Vitalik kind of guy myself. I'm like, let's test it first. But I respect what Charles is doing, and I do think he's got some great ideas for the future. So let's just see how that plays out, and I'll talk about whether Cardano will replace Ethereum at the end here. All right, a couple more comments. I got Abdullah here on Zoom saying Cardano is like the world's best MBA passed. Ethereum is like $1 billion company founder. Ethereum is battle tested. That's what needed to stand out. Good point, Abdullah. And I'll talk on that as well. I got John on YouTube says, glad to know it's not too late to get into crypto. This is really exciting. Definitely. Raise your hand here if you think it's too late to get into crypto. Just let me see. Or you feel like you're late a little bit. Anyone here on Instagram? Okay, you're not. Okay, maybe Linda. It's easy to feel that way. I think next year is too late. I think end of next year, it's too late. But right now it's not. And that's why we push education, education, education. You can't invest in yourself too much. I believe that always, actually. But that's why we want to learn, learn, learn. That's why we're doing the DeFi Academy. That's why we got people in there. Plus, it's just hella fun, to be honest, to be around all these amazing people with these great ideas. And the people in my academy are going to be the next Charles Hoskinsons, for sure. I joke with them at the end of my academy call. I'm like, look at these faces. One of them's going to be on Fortune magazine soon. They laugh, but it's not funny. They really will be, some of these people. So we're creating a network of real people that have gone through, my approval process. So if you're in my academy, it means I've approved you. If you get through the academy, that means you've graduated, you get into the market wizards. I think we're creating a network that's going to change the world. I really do. And that's why it's exciting. All right, let me get to the third coin. Heath on IG says, how do I get into that group? It's londonreal.tv/DeFi, DEFI. It's in the link in the Zoom chat. Click there. You might as well apply. It takes 60 seconds, and I'll read the application after this, right? So even if you want to give me a coded message, I guess I'll see it. Although, please, I hope you're serious about our academy. But you can go there now and apply. But tomorrow it's too late because we're starting the course Monday, 6 p.m. London time. I'll be on a Zoom call just like this. I'll be better dressed, and we'll be talking about Module 1, and you'll meet all your fellow students. All right, it'll be really cool. All right, let's talk about the third coin. Does everybody want the third coin? Just thumbs up if you're looking for it. Okay. Third coin that I think we got to keep our eyes on. And let me just be honest. This coin was not on my radar even a month ago. And I spend 24/7 focused on the DeFi space, hence DeFi Academy, hence our pledge that we're in this for 10 years, hence London Real has only featured DeFi guests for the past 5 months. All right, and don't worry, I'm gonna bring the Navy SEALs back. I'm gonna bring all of the Iron Men people back. I'm gonna bring the rock stars and the rappers I'm gonna bring them back. But right now, I think it's really important that we let the world know about DeFi. All right, is everyone gonna forgive me for now on this? Nicoletta, you gonna let that one go? Hans, okay, William Radner's like, okay, I get you, Brian. Although, William, you probably came originally for something else, right, William? Right, but that's okay. We're going to get back to that. But right now, this is super important. So let me talk about the third coin that I think is going to make moves, and it's something you really need to pay attention to. And it's called, drumroll, Avalanche. First of all, thumbs up if you've heard of Avax. Thumbs down if you've never heard of Avax before. Let me just see the Zoom call. Let me see thumbs up. Okay, so it's like about 60%. Let me just see thumbs up. Okay, down thumb for Dawn. Okay, down for Luke as well. Muhammad down. And if you're on Zoom, if you could just turn cameras on. I love to see beautiful faces. Laura Acuna has seen it. Andis, have you heard of it? Esteban, good to see you, man. Thumbs up. Okay, let's talk about Avax. Now, one of the reasons you might have heard about Avax is because Stani Kulichov, when he was here in the studio, and by the way, I'm a big fan of Stani. Having him in studio was amazing. Go watch that interview now on londonreal.tv. It's free. It's 2 hours. Stani owns over 2,000 NFTs, by the way. Is everyone got me here? Over 2,000 NFTs. I'm going to see him at the Token 24/7 conference in London on Thursday. I'll be on stage, by the way, if anybody wants to come by and see me. And Stani owns over 2,000 NFTs, by the way. And he, as Aave, announced a partnership with Avalanche a few weeks ago, where they were supporting their protocol on their lending platform. And I actually said to Stani on studio, I said, how do you evaluate a company like Avax? How do you know to go all in on Avax and not one of the other top 100 market capital coin networks according to CoinMarketCap? Does everyone understand that question? I'm asking Stani, who knows what he's doing, how do you evaluate that company? And he said, Brian, he said a couple things. First of all, we've got all of our Aave forums, and people are telling us that the code they're writing is actually being used as protocol, and it's going to be reused by other coders. And so the big thing that happens in crypto that didn't happen on Facebook or Google or any of those other dot-com startups is the concept of open source software. The whole concept of the blockchain is that we create software, we make it transparent, we give it to developers and allow them to develop on the blockchain and create something, and also take ownership and basically equity in the blockchain and make money along the way. Does everyone understand that concept? Just thumbs up here on the call. They call that Web 3.0. 3.0. 2.0 was Facebook and YouTube. What does Facebook and YouTube say? They say, we create the network, we take your data, and we make all the money. That's what they do. Is everybody with me here? Right? Right now, iTunes Store takes 30% of every single transaction from the artist. Right now, Amazon takes 30% of every single thing that you buy and sell between you and someone else, right? Isn't that kind of crazy? Right now, Facebook pulls out 30% of all the advertising spend, and Google as well. They're taking huge chunks out of this information economy. That's Web 2.0. And again, this was all part of the process. We're very grateful to those networks. I'm even grateful for YouTube, even though they banned me a little bit last year, but I still got love. I'm streaming on them right now to over 500 people. I got love, but I'm saying your days are numbered, YouTube, is what I'm saying. Because the future is I'm going to take this video right now and it's going to go directly to Nicoletta. It's going to go directly to Sophia. It's going to go directly to Clint. And they're going to own this piece and they're going to be participating in this because I'm going to own all my information going forward. Is everybody with me here? This is the future. We take out the middleman. That's the future. And it's all transparent on the blockchain. It also solves censorship issues. Don't get me started about censorship, right? I could talk for that a year about that, all right? But it solves that issue as well. And so, again, Stani said that, Brian, I can see this code being used by other people. And that's what makes crypto so exciting. Because people not only share the code, but they also share the tokens. So when you take the AVAX code, you also get AVAX tokens. And everybody wins when the ecosystem and the protocol wins. Does everyone kind of understand that concept? It's amazing. And that's why this space is growing so fast. Let me repeat that again. The reason that we can all extract value from this is the reason it's growing so fast. I really believe that's a key component of that. And so, again, Avax is super exciting. It's currently the 13th largest market cap. It's about a $15 billion market cap, just below the $50 billion market cap of Solana. And again, it's a very fast system. Again, something that takes a lot of time and reduces that time when it comes to this piece. And again, the Avax has some very interesting interoperability protocols when it comes to the Ethereum wallets. So you can plug that MetaMask Ethereum wallet right into your Avax protocol, and it's something that can be very seamless as opposed to Solana where you actually have to have a separate wallet. So Avax is super exciting. It's also got even better programmability features than the Ethereum chain. And you can program lots of very interesting things there, including from a payment perspective. So we see Avax as something to really keep an eye on. Again, still an untested layer 1 solution. Both Avax and Solana are layer 1 solutions. The Polygon is a layer 2. It sits on top of that, which means if Ethereum disappears, Polygon disappears, right? Is everyone kind of with me on that point? But the Avax and Solana are actually giving the Ethereum a run for their money. They both look very interesting. They both have some great market caps, some great users, and doing some amazing things. Again, I always do the stress test on this, and pay attention to everybody listening to me. I always do a stress test, which means a few things. First of all, market cap. Is it in the top 50 or maybe 100 market caps? Okay, that's one check. Number 2, who's their CEO, co-founders? Who's part of that? Do they have experience in the industry? Have they built and designed things? Okay, that's 2. Number 3, what else can we tick off? We can tick off also, what have they done? What are their users transparently on the blockchain? Who's using it? And what have they done? Solana has been doing NFTs over $1 million. They're doing real assets that are being transferred on their protocol. These are some basic stress tests. And number 4 is, do they have venture capital investment? And again, VC isn't everything, but if you've got a couple $100 million from some of these big VC firms, then it's almost like your due diligence is done for you. And Andreessen Horowitz isn't going to dump $300 million into a protocol if they haven't done some due diligence. Again, you've got to do your own research, as they say in crypto, but these things give you a little bit of idea of what's going on. Does that make sense to everybody here? Okay, good. So again, leave me comments here. I am saying that the 3 to look out for are Polygon, Matic, and I'm going to answer all these questions right now for you. We're going to look at Solana, and we're going to look at Avax. And I like these calls so much, maybe I'm going to do another one of these on Sunday and talk about, there's another 3 coins I'm looking at as well. There's a lot going on in this space. But I also think that you need to make sure you're educated in this space. And that's why we created the DeFi Academy. We created it so you can use these protocols. It's one thing to talk about Solana. It's another thing to use Solana. It's another thing to talk about Ethereum and Bitcoin and hot wallets and options trades and yield swapping. But have you done a yield swap? Just let me see. Hands up here if anybody here that have done yield swaps on Zoom. Okay, Tom Cribb has. We got Joao has. Anybody else? Okay, of course Clint has. Anybody in my academy has. But again, if you hadn't taken my academy, how many people force themselves to go on an Aave or a Compound or a Celsius? I had Alex here on Friday and actually swap one of those things. And until you've done it, you don't really understand it. You think you understand it, but you don't. Same with an options trade, same with a liquidity pool. You have to get in there and actually do it. And the same with trading. All of my students now have to put their trading positions on. They have to be transparent. They have to have a tracking software so I can see your trades. I can see if you're talking about the coins or if you're investing in the coins. Does anyone know that? Somebody in the space out there that's always talking about a coin, but they're not invested in the coin? Does anybody else know someone in the space that has the one trade they keep reminding you that made money? I bought Bitcoin back in 2013. Okay, great. What did you do this year? Oh yeah, I lost money on all my day trades. Okay, cool. Let's talk about real P&L. And that's why in my academy, every month we have a P&L contest and I give out prizes for whoever has the top trades. And I get to see the top returns of the month, the top trade of the month. And then this month for September, I'm doing the biggest losing trade of the month, just so we can have a little fun with what was a terrible month for September for trading. So the biggest losing trade, I'm gonna send them a prize as well. Usually I send them some coins as a thank you. So again, you need this transparent trading network if you wanna really even talk about buying Avax or Solana. Does everyone get me here and understand what I'm talking about? I would just say, if you're new to this space or even in this space for a while, do not crypto day trade. Most of the people watching me right now are trading too often. You're trading on your mobile app, which we do not encourage at all inside the DeFi Academy. And you're trading on too much information, too many news sources, too many rumors, too many tweets, too many strange WhatsApp groups. Shut all that stuff down. Get a peer group you trust, which is what we do inside the DeFi Academy. or by watching London Real, because I'm talking to the real CEOs, and listen to what these people say, and then make informed decisions and limit your coins down. We have something called the 10 coin rule for a reason inside the academy. That's where we really limit your trading decisions, and we slow the frequency down, and we look at a longer term perspective. And I'm trying to get you to rack up double-digit returns for 10 years. That means if you do the math on that, you can start making 25, 50 times your money. That's what we're talking about over the long run. That sound good to everybody here on Zoom, right? Okay, but to do that, I believe you have to actively trade these markets. That doesn't mean day trade, but that doesn't mean hodling, all right? I think hodling is a lazy strategy. I've said this before, and so has BitBoy Crypto, who's been on my show. I think it's lazy. And I think what you need to do is be active in the markets. For example, look at Avax and Solana. 3 months ago, you probably wouldn't have even found those names anywhere. So now you've seen them, and now you can make a decision. Hodlers, they buy the coins and they shut the doors down and they hibernate and they stick their head in the sand. And if you want to do that, great. But then turn off this call and turn off the internet for 10 years and go to an island or something if you really want to hodl. I don't think that's the best strategy. I think by trading the ups and downs of these markets, and let me be clear, we will be experiencing another bear market in crypto in the next 18 months. We will see a 50 to 75% price retrenchment, just like we did back in May. Does everyone here agree with me on this call or no? Just thumbs down if you don't. No, Brian, those were the old days. I hope it doesn't happen, but I know it's going to happen. And guess what? Inside the DeFi Academy, we prepare for that. That's why we have stop loss orders in. And a lot of my students, stop losses saved their bacon in September, because they would have taken Bitcoin all the way down below 40,000 if they hadn't got out, and then they can get back in lower if they want. And they can buy more Bitcoin when you get back in lower. So that's something to really remember about stop losses. Again, if anybody here wants to join me for the first live call tomorrow, and this incredible group of students we got for the next course is londonreal.tv/DeFi. You can click the link below. Send me your name, application, email. We got a free downloadable asset, I think, here in the chat on Zoom that Julian's sticking out there. If you're following me on social, just go to londonreal.tv/Zoom. I want to finish off with any questions. So ask me anything you want. You can ask me what my bench press is. I don't bench press anymore. You can ask me the middle names of my children if you want, although I probably shouldn't tell you. Anything you want, put the questions in right now, and I'll answer them. I just want to give a big shout out to everybody who's got their camera on. So thank you, Manfreda, Sivar. I appreciate that. We got Wilhelm in the house. We got Joao. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I have been to Brazil. We got Tom Cribb, Nicoletta, always here on point. Nicoletta, I think it could be 5 in the morning. I'd just go live on Zoom. Nicoletta would be there, dressed well, looking well slept. Okay, so it's great. We got Rhapsody there. Good to see you. Esteban, good to see you as well. Ingus in the house. George Raffer, who was here with me on Friday. Good to see you, George. Got William, of course, here. Luis, hope you're not driving the car. Simon Rosenberg, good to see you, sir. And a bunch of other people. All right, final questions. Stick them in the Zoom. Stick them here on YouTube or Instagram. And again, I really appreciate everybody here. I think I'll do this more often on Sundays, right? Especially in the casual close. Joshua Gold on YouTube says, Stanny is a beast. He's a visionary. Does anybody here agree with me? Stanny Kulichev. I got a little bit of a man crush on Stanny. I was a big fan of him. He was here in London Real. I think we had the first live interview he's ever done, actually. Everything was on Zoom before. He's a really smart guy. Again, we talked a lot about NFTs, strangely enough. He actually wants to be able to fund NFTs. Imagine buying an NFT and then be able to borrow money against it on his platform, Aave. Again, I could talk for 10 hours about this stuff. It's amazing. So appreciate you. I got Nick here on Zoom that says, can you speak to the breakdown of our fiat economy and one world economy takeover, elite cashless society? Yeah, I could talk about that. First of all, let me answer the previous question about Compound, all right? So Compound, we saw, had a major malfunction, $80 million. They sent it to miners who didn't deserve those mining credits. And now they're asking for people to return the coins. This has happened before in the crypto space. MakerDAO was created a long time ago, many years ago, and it was like a DAO, a decentralized organization, and it got accidentally hacked, and they had to hard fork Ethereum on the back of it. And you know, there's things you can do when these things happen, but it just goes to show you that code can break, that smart contracts aren't smart, and that some of these things are going to happen. Now, what's going to happen with Compound? Well, you know, they asked for the coins back. It's still probably a small part of their market cap. I think their market cap between 5 and 10 billion, I think, maybe 4 billion. But threatening to dox people with their names to the IRS and let they get the coins back is not a good thing. Again, I do appreciate Robert Lesnar, and I know it's hard work doing what he does. And I don't know if he actually said that, but that's not what we want to see in our DeFi spaces, right? We're trying to get away from the KYC, the ALM, the people trying to make us jump through hoops to have basic access to financial services. That being said, I understand we need some regulation in this space. I think it'll make it grow faster, but I don't want you to take the D out of DeFi. Does everyone know what I'm talking about here? Right? There's a reason we like decentralized finance, because the banks aren't in control anymore, and I don't want you to change that. And so when I see something like that happen, I get a little worried. So that's my comment on compounds. I will talk about Cardano as well. Fiat currencies and all of that stuff. I've had Robert Kiyosaki on my show, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. I've had Max Kaiser on my show. I've had Jim Rickards on my show, super smart people, all talking about how fiat currency is going to die. We know the Federal Reserve printed more money, I think, in the last something like 6 months than they have in like the last 60 years. And they're printing out dollars and pumping it through the system to prop up stocks and everything else. Is everybody with me here, right? And a lot of us think this won't last. That's why people like Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is deflationary by definition. There will only be 21 billion Bitcoin. There have been, I think, 18 million minted so far, and 2 million are lost. So there's only a finite number. And guess what? There's no controls. They don't stop the trading of Bitcoin when prices move. So everyone says, wow, this is an asset that we can trust in the future. That being said, I don't think our US dollar fiat currency is going to crash anytime in the next 25 years. I don't. I do think that these coins will be better alternatives, and I do think you want to invest in these coins because they will save you from printing money, quantitative easing, as they say, and all the inflation issues around that. Also, these assets are real, and they're going to be the financial infrastructure of the future. But I do think we'll see these fiat currencies around at least for another 25 years. Now, future generations, I mean, I'm probably going to leave all my Bitcoin to my great-great-grandchildren, right? Would I rather leave them dollars or Bitcoin? Which is the one? Probably Bitcoin, right? Is everybody with me here? Because I do think it will survive. And I'll say one last thing on that before I finish up. Somebody was asking, what's the price of Bitcoin? They were asking Max Kaiser, what's the price of Bitcoin in 10 years? How many dollars per Bitcoin? And he said, I think in 10 or 15 years, that question won't even make sense, is what he says. Because first of all, Bitcoin will be who we are. You might be saying, how many Bitcoins in a dollar? My son Caden came in here the other day. Do you see these typewriters on the back on my of my wall here? Do you see these? Can everybody see the typewriters on the wall? He walked into the studio. He's 5 years old. He said, what's that? I said, it's a typewriter. We used to type letters on pieces of paper. And he said, what's that? Why? And so it's possible in the future that our children and grandchildren won't know what a dollar is because it won't be relevant. Or maybe there'll be so many dollars printed that who cares how many dollars makes a Bitcoin? It'd be like, how many Venezuelan pesos make a Bitcoin? It doesn't matter anymore. Maybe there's too many of them. So it might be a paradigm shift where we don't even think about money that way anymore. And everything is transacted transparently and frictionlessly to where I just look at you and nod and we transact and I don't have to worry about prices because I know it's always fair, right? Isn't that a crazy reality? Imagine that in the future, right? Everything is trustable and trustless and verified without me having to worry about what's going to happen or what the price is. What an amazing thing, right? Right now, when I send money via my banking system, I know it's going to go through or it's going to come back. I trust it. Imagine if I could do the same thing when it came to all of my transactions and everything was trustless. That could be the future. Let me just talk about Cardano as I close here. We got Athean68 on Instagram says, I'm in Cardano all the way, looking into other coins. And again, I'm a big fan of the ideas of Cardano. I'm a big fan of Charles Hoskinson. He broadcasts a lot. He's a great voice in the space, although no blockchain is ever smaller than the voice. The blockchain is always bigger than the voice, and that's the whole point of these things. I have great things for the future, but one thing all of my guests have reminded me is they've talked the talk, now they have to walk the walk. We have not seen anything developed yet. That's what they all say. We're all waiting to see the proof. And I think that's a fair criticism, and I'll bring this up when Charles is on the show in a few weeks. A couple other final questions. I got Nueva on YouTube. It says, great work, thank you. Spotton on Instagram says, thank you for the content. Giving is Living on Instagram says, you are amazing. Like I said, not everyone in my family agrees, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. I got Anish on Zoom that says, what are your opinions on XRP Ripple? This is a good final thing to wrap up with. Ripple is currently going through issues with the SEC right now, and they're trying to go after them in a legal perspective. And the SEC is now talking about whether something becomes a security and whether it should be regulated. Is everyone kind of familiar with these arguments going on here in Zoom? And so this is a real issue. Gary Gensler runs the SEC. He used to teach at MIT where I went to school. He actually taught a course on Bitcoin in 2018 and blockchain. And so he's very smart, but he's also potentially trying to call these things securities, which means they go all these laws that you have to worry about. He's even potentially called lending a security, lending Ethereum a security, which stopped Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, from actually going ahead with their lending protocol. And they stopped it because of a threat from the SEC. This is going to be real, and this is stuff we talk about all the time inside the academy and inside our Wizards group. I don't think regulation is going to stop this, but it could really slow this down. A couple other final comments. I would just say to anybody here who hasn't yet, please apply for our DeFi Academy. In 4 weeks from now, before Halloween, you could be basically no more than 99% of the crypto traders out there. I firmly believe that. And you'll have a peer group of hundreds of people that trade transparently every day. You got access to me. And by the way, it's 4 weeks, it's 4 modules, it's 8 hours of live calls with me. I do it just like this, basically. I've been talking for an hour now. I got my team here on a Sunday. They're wondering when I'm going to stop talking. And so we're here for an hour on Mondays and on Thursdays at 6 p.m. I go through modules. I've got about 20 pre-recorded videos on our e-learning platform. We've got an accountability system. We've got a group where you upload videos and introductions, and you get to meet another 100 people around the world that are involved in this crypto space, and you get to keep in connection with them for the next 10 years as we build this ecosystem. It is the best product in the DeFi space, period, when it comes to education. I can say that confidently. And I've looked at everything out there, and nothing comes close. Also, nobody else is talking with real CEOs in real time, and I'm trying to feed back that information into you on a real-time basis. And when you're inside my academy, I can say even more than I'm saying now. And so that's why we think this is next level stuff. So again, if you haven't yet, apply LondonReal.tv/DeFi. Join us. It's a very special experience. And again, I appreciate everybody being here on Zoom. There should be a downloadable asset here in the chat, so download that as well. And if you're watching us anywhere, go to LondonReal.tv/Zoom. A couple final questions. I got CDL on YouTube that says, where do I go for research? People always say, do your own research. Again, that's what we do inside the academy. I try to bring you up to speed on all of these issues. And I kind of force you into trading the protocols so you actually know what to do. And a couple other things. Josh on IG says, gotta love open source code. Booyah. I agree. You gotta love that stuff. All right, I want to say big thanks to everybody out there. Muji, I appreciate you. Rhapsody, Nicoletta, thank you so much. Tom Cribb, I hope I answered that question on Compound. William Radnor and Ingus. This has been an amazing turnout on a Sunday. Like I said, I might do this more often. I might do some breakdancing next time. Who knows? Might get a little crazy. We'll see. I might have a shirt. It says HODL on it. No, I won't be wearing those shirts. Even though Alex Mashinsky was wearing that shirt on Friday from Celsius, I respect that. I respect everybody in this space because they're contributing to the knowledge. It's all open source. We're all trying to make the world a better place, period. And let me just say one thing in closing. I've been watching this space and broadcasting and teaching in this space for coming up on 5 months, right? The election to be mayor of London was May 6th of this year. It's almost 5 months from now. I have never been more excited than today. Every day I get more excited, more optimistic. I get more invested. I find more students. And I think we are in the most special place in human history. I really think this is. This is the biggest adoption of technology I think we'll ever see as a species, period, period. This is growing at a triple-digit annual growth rate. This is amazing. We will never see any piece of technology be adopted this fast. Even in the future, when we're floating around on flying cars, that won't even go this fast. You won't go from 10 million people to 1 billion people in 6 years. That's what this is going to do, or 7 years. You're not going to see anything come that fast that's going to change our lives in such a way. So that's why this is the time to invest in it. The best way is to invest in yourself and invest in the education, purely. Within 4 weeks, we want to get you up to speed to where you can be a part of all these protocols. So that's it. I'm going to say thank you. I appreciate all the regulars here. Great to see you, Robert Parker. Clint, I appreciate you. Nicoletta, I appreciate you. Haylene, you were here with us on Friday. George, you were here with us as well. Dawn, great to see you. Clint, I already shot you out. Linda Rock, we'll hope we see you more often. Manfredis, William, you were here on Friday as well. I'm going to also do a piece on NFTs tomorrow, but I'll do it at DeFi Live here where I'll be sitting in the chair with the suit on. But don't remember, I can rock the Under Armour too. Don't forget that, right? Take a screenshot. It happens, right? The breakdancing's on Instagram so far, right? Until everybody takes all my videos down. That's over there too. All right, many layers here. I appreciate all of you. Hope to see you inside the academy. I'll see some of you on our first live call tomorrow night. Bless, spread the word, share the video, get your kids and your mothers and grandmothers on some type of crypto is what I would say. And get them involved. That's the best way forward. All right, tuning out. Thank you all so much. All right, bye. Thanks, Zoom. I appreciate you guys so much. All right, bye. Let me just shut down. Saying bye to Instagram. Thank you so much. YouTube, you guys have been gems today. Great to see everyone here. We got Chow. We got everybody from Italy as well. So thank you all so much. Appreciate you up there. Big time.